What's up, YouTube? This is the Calcara 131, and this is my final review of the OhHunt 13.5-inch free float handguard. So my testing process for this handguard was pretty straightforward, all in all. I moved my red dot up here so it's actually sitting on the rail. So at the end of the process, if it had shifted at all, I could tell if there was going to be a zero change. But I zeroed this here Strike Fire 2 at 50 yards with some Hornady 75 grain ammo, and once I had it zeroed, I just started shooting. So if I had to sum up this handguard in just a phrase, I think I would have to say better than I expected. To say that on the wish.com app, I checked a couple days ago, this thing costs $26. For $26 to say that you can get a free float M-Lok 6061 aluminum handguard, it's insane. You know, whenever all the other products on the market all cost at least twice that. If you're looking for American made that I have any experience with, the cheapest I can think of are the Stinger handguards, and those still cost about $120-ish. So TLDR, would I recommend this handguard? Yes, to certain people. And what I mean by that is, I mentioned in my initial review that I was considering doing some abusive testing on this thing. I didn't really do any because as I thought about it, the only people that are going to spend less than 30 bucks on a handguard aren't very serious end users. So the people I would recommend this to are casual shooters, weekend shooters, you know, people that they go out to the range like every other week, they put 100 rounds downrange, maybe they just want to start customizing it. They bought a basic handguard with a pinned front sight block, whatever, and they just want to upgrade a little bit, spend less than 30 bucks to get a free float handguard. Those are the people that I would recommend this to. For all of those people, this is going to be absolutely more than enough for them. So, but on the other hand, if you are a competition shooter, if you are a serious hobbyist like I am, or especially law enforcement, military, none of those guys they're going to use this for a serious end goal are going to spend 30 bucks. You know, they're going to look for something that has a better track record of reliability. So as I said, the only ones that I have much experience with are the Stinger handguards. The Stinger handguards are pretty solid for just a little over 100 bucks. They're USA made, so you can, as far as I'm aware, you can only get those straight from their website. And like I said, they cost around 120, 130. As you go up from there, if you are getting a bit more serious, you need something a little more rock solid. I have some experience with a BCM MCMR. I have one of those. It's great. It's almost, you know, universally accepted in the industry to be a solid damn handguard. And on their website and various other websites, you can generally get an MCMR for about 190, 200. Fun fact, if you want to get it a whole lot cheaper, get a Big Daddy Unlimited account, they have the MCMR for about 140. So that's definitely the best place you can go to get an MCMR. But as you go up from there, if you are a really serious end user, you're military or a SWAT officer for a duty rifle, whatever, the Geisley and anything Geisley handguards are, again, universally accepted to be just great, you know, rock solid. There's a reason they're approved for special operations use. The Geisley Mark IV is about as bomb-proof as a free-float handguard can get. So, again, I would recommend this for the sort of people that aren't going to be very serious about using it. After the testing, I took another 50-yard shot. And I was actually pretty impressed, to say that over the course of shooting towards the end, I should be able to throw in a clip. All right, so I was just wrapping up recording out here whenever I finally had my first major issue with this thing. One of these little locking nuts right here started to come off. I don't know if I can get to focus on this thing. Come on, there we go. There it is. All right, so yeah, this little locking nut came off for the handguard. I noticed this earlier, but I thought one of these little witness holes was starting to back out. I wasn't 100% positive. This one on the right here, you can see is still fine. It's still lined up. This one on the left completely came out. Pretty big issue right there. I did have one major issue. One of the retaining pins, the nut on it, actually came unscrewed and it fell off. And I think that was mostly my fault. The one step I forgot to do in the installation that I would recommend for anything on a handguard or anything on a rifle that has threads, I didn't put thread locker on it. I'm willing to bet had I put thread locker on it, it wouldn't have backed out. So I'll take the credit for that one. I'm not gonna give that a knock on the handguard. I should have put some blue thread locker on it. But to say that it came off, I tossed it on some rocks once or twice, and it still only shifted a tiny bit at 50 yards with a 4 MOA red dot. So it's not a precise aiming solution to begin with. And I will also admit, whenever I took that final 50-yard grouping, it wasn't the most comfortable position. So it could well have been just me that was why it was off. But after almost 750 rounds over 2 range trips of using this handguard, to say it barely shifted at all for less than 30 bucks, I can't not recommend it if you're just a casual shooter. So again, I will reiterate this. I would absolutely recommend this. I think this is one of the best handguards you can get if you don't mind it being Chinese made. It's one of the best you can get for the money. And that's the big caveat with this entire review that I've been working on. You can't get much better than this for 30 bucks. I mean, obviously, as you go up in price, you're going to get better quality control, better parts, whatever. But if you're a casual shooter and you're never going to need an IR laser, you're never going to put a PEC 15 or a D-ball on this, and you're just going to be shooting it casually, you're never going to drop it because you're never going to push it, you're never going to really do drills with it, this is absolutely more than enough. So that is my review of the OhHunt 13.5-inch handguard from wish.com. This is the Calcara 131, signing off.